Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thrashers Paradise. I'm joined with guests I haven't had on since 2019. It's been a while, but they've finally returned. I'm joined with Krista and Victor of Hamilton's Lutharo.
Yes, hello.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm good. How are you two doing?
Good. It's
Great
better
to
now
have you.
not working.
Yeah, pretty much.
I understand that way too much. Welcome back. It's great to have you both back here on the channel.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. And right off the bat, the last time Lutharo was featured on the channel, Krista, you got the chance to do a very unique interview where you were interviewed by, at the time, my 8-year-old brother outside of the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to be interviewed essentially by a child?
It's interesting. Actually, someone had brought that up in another interview, and they're like, I seen an interview on YouTube of you getting interviewed by a kid, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I was like, yep, I can concur.
Yep.
Very cool.
I think that video has more videos than the time I interviewed the 4 of you in Guelph.
Yes, Christopher Lutharo is interviewed by a child.
Yes. I think I still have the text where you said, I love the title.
Yes.
Because I just put interviewed by a child.
Yes.
I didn't know what else to call it. Like, what else do you say?
It was just enough to make people
that's
click
it.
on the YouTube link.
That's it.
Exactly. But also on top of that, that show was very unique because it was an all ages show,
Mhm.
which you don't see a lot of for the local scene in the metal culture. What was that
They
like?
never really happen anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what was it like to have like a younger audience there to see you guys perform?
It was awesome. I love seeing like younger kids in the audience, especially when they're like super into it. I know that we've had a few people message us about like their kids or whatever, saying that they're big fans and stuff. One had personally messaged me and asked for like a video shout out for their daughter who is younger, and I absolutely love it because kids in that age are like impressionable, and you want them to be listening to good music, right?
Exactly.
So it's really cool that there's little growing metalheads.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. But the main reason you two are here is to talk about, of course, the brand new album, Horiath, which came out on October 15th. And the main question I have is, how do the two of you pronounce it? Because I've heard a lot of people say it multiple different ways.
Differently.
We've had Hirai. There was another one the other day. I don't remember what it was. We say Hirai.
Yes.
I Googled it to see the proper pronunciation, and it came up as Hirai, but I like that could even be wrong still because it's a Welsh word as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, that's what we go with. So
Excellent. Now, you had your album release party, and it was a couple weeks ago at the Absinthe in Hamilton. What was it like to have that album release party in your hometown in front of the hometown crowd?
It was awesome. It was so nice to be up on stage and playing again, and in front of our friends and family and everything. And plus, we didn't have a CD release for Wings of Agony because right when we were supposed to play, like the lockdown started and everything, so we never got to play that. So
it was like a double CD release.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was very cool to be able to play, and like the capacity was a little bit bigger too than what we were actually expecting.
Yeah.
To have. So
yeah, it was packed. It was a sold out show. I couldn't stop smiling. I'm like, Kristen, try to look badass, but like I'm just like yes, it was very cool.
Yes.
As you mentioned, sadly, Wings of Agony had to suffer last year without having a real platform to debut a lot of the newer songs. What's it been like in these past couple of months to finally get to hear those songs live in front of an audience?
It's been interesting because, I mean, had we had played it when we were supposed to and had the CD release when we were supposed to, I feel like people would still be just getting to know it. But now people have listened to it for what, like a year or two?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. So I mean, there was people singing the words and stuff. So that was like really cool to see. But yeah, it sucked in the time to not have it, but at least we get to play those songs live now. And it was crazy because there was, I know Will to Survive, we never got to play live until we played a couple of shows this year. And even Baron, which was like the opener and one of our singles, never got to play until a couple shows this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool to finally play that. And I mean, Wings of Agony on its own always gets quite the shock out of people when we play
gets
it.
the crowd going every time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yep.
I will say this. It was a treat to hear Wings of Agony, the song, live. It was very cool just to hear it instead of on Spotify. It was nice.
Thank you. It's fun to play the one. It's a crazy song. Probably shouldn't have gone that crazy vocally, but you know, you live and you learn. I always get really nervous for that one because the beginning is a lot, but yeah.
That song's all over the place. It's fast. It has so many riff changes and everything as well. It's a handful.
Yeah, definitely that song probably showcases us the most as a band, more than anything we've written.
Agreed.
I feel like.
Now, when it comes to getting ready to perform the live shows, do you find yourselves practicing Wings of Agony a bit more than certain other songs?
Before we did, like when, I would say like when it wasn't in the set list as long, just because it is a difficult one, but now it's like the same amount
yeah,
as
we
everything
usually
else.
figure out what the set list is going to be for the shows, and then we just practice the set list over and over again.
At one point that one did get a lot of practice though, but it was mainly because we've had I don't know how many member changes and trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the brand new album, which came out on the 15th. It's the largest or the most songs Lutharo has ever released on an release, which is 10. What made you guys want to add those 5 extra songs to this album?
Well, first of all, we had the time to do it. And usually when we released Beast and Wings of Agony, everyone was mad because there wasn't enough songs and you guys should have written more songs or released a full length. And back then we just didn't have the time because we always had member issues.
We have just bad luck in general.
And then now, because we didn't play any shows or anything, we're like, at first we're like, let's write a new EP. And then we're like, let's just write a whole album and just do a full length.
Yep, just go all in.
Exactly.
You know? And we had so many songs that we had already written too, like on the back burner. So I mean, the songs were already basically written.
Yeah.
Majority of them. And yeah.
Which song off of the new album is the oldest one that has been waiting for it to shine?
I would say In Silence We Reign. That was the first song we wrote for the album.
That one, Eclipse, is pretty old too.
And Worship Your Path.
Yes.
And then everything else was,
newer.
I don't remember the order.
The newest is Hopeless Abandonment.
Yeah.
And that almost didn't make the album because it was just so close to going into the studio. But we finished it so quickly, it just like flowed out so organically that we were like, well, might as well throw another one on there.
Yeah, because we initially only wanted to do 9 songs. So then we're like, oh, one more song. It just kind of came out right before the studio. And
it's our favorite one now.
Yeah, exactly.
As I can see, because if I'm not mistaken, that was the 3rd single that got released before the album came out in its entirety, correct?
Yes.
Hopeless Abandonment. Now, you guys came out with 2 singles before that and 2 music videos for the songs. Which video did you find to be more fun to make?
To Kill or to Crave was definitely the most fun video we've shot so far.
For sure.
It was
less tedious.
Less tedious, and we were in a huge room, and we were just able to just do whatever we wanted for that one. It wasn't as strict
Yeah, well, usually like we don't have that much space to kind of move around. We have to stay in tight for like camera angles and stuff. But for that one, because it was such a massive room and he was like going around us and stuff, we could like move more on the spot and like kind of rock out a little bit more than usual. And it was
because usually we're like we have to stand in one spot pretty much and not
Mhm.
move, but we were able to do whatever we wanted, which made it amazing.
Yeah, we could just like go all out and like we had a lot of fun too, like just like joking around with each other and for the the throne shots too. Those were interesting. Those got a few laughs out of us too. Yeah. Definitely
Speaking of the throne shots, what made you want to incorporate the throne into the music video?
I think because of the lyrics for me, I was like, I need to play on these lyrics somehow, in like an interesting way for like a B-roll. And then there's a lot of reference to like a king or like someone like a ruler over someone else. And there's like one line like I'll polish my throne with your blood or polish my throne with your blood. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should put a throne in there. And I like messaged the guys jokingly about it. I was like, we should have a throne. They're like, we should
We're
have
like,
a
where
throne.
are we gonna find a throne?
Yeah. It just so happens you can get them off Kijiji.
Yeah,
for like
rent them for the
$200.
day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it wasn't
We
cheap.
looked it up on Kijiji. We're like, oh, throne for rent.
Mhm.
And then there was one, and we're like, all right, let's message this guy and see what happens.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Right? What a crazy business. The guy
Mhm.
just rents out these thrones that he has.
Yeah, he's making a killing off it.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Who would have thought you could have made money with that?
right?
Well, I
Yeah.
guess he sells them for like weddings and stuff too, right? So I guess if you want some crazy
I think
Okay.
for like Christmas stuff too,
Christmas
like for
stuff too, yes.
Santas, like because it's
Yeah.
like a good Santa throne as well, I guess.
Yeah.
many uses out of it.
Yeah.
And now a metal music video.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That is crazy. Now, I do have to say, I was listening, I have heard the entire album, and there is a certain point where I've just gotten lost in the album where the last song hit, it was like, wait, it's done already? What the hell? And just I gotta compliment you on your like track listing, like finding the right songs to go from 1 to 10. Like you started strong and you ended stronger, and I just gotta say that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out the order that they're in and figure out what's the best way. At first, we only knew we wanted To Kill or To Crave to be the first song and Lost in a Soul to be the last song.
Mhm.
We did, and then we had to like try and figure out everything else.
Fill in the gaps in between.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess it worked out well.
Yeah. For so far, with the album being released now for a couple of weeks, what song have the fans loved that surprised you a bit?
So Valley of the Cursed, actually, we've been talking about it for the last couple of days. That's probably one of my favorite songs on the album, and I was kind of upset that we never did a music video for it or anything. And I didn't think the song was going to do that great, but the last couple of days it's just been like everyone's been talking about it.
Like, the track list,
yeah, it's
right?
close to the end of the album. So everyone's been talking about it. The views are getting up, like the streams and everything, and we're like,
We underestimated that song.
exactly.
I suppose.
So now we got to play it live.
Yeah.
So how many? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So off of the new album, how many songs have yet to be played in front of an audience?
Yeah, we have
3
Valley, Silence,
and Eclipse.
and Eclipse.
Yes.
The rest we played live.
The rest we've played live.
Yeah,
at
at the CD release. Yep.
And the other ones, I don't know when we're gonna play them live.
Yeah, we'll mix it up like as we go. Just yeah, it depends on our set time, right? And what people are liking more. Obviously, we're gonna have to put Valley in there.
Yeah, and
No.
depends what bands we're playing with as well, right? If it's a more power metal show, then we're gonna try and play more power metal-y songs.
Exactly.
If it's like more death metal bands, then we'll try to play our heavier stuff, right? So it all depends on the lineup, I guess.
Mhm.
Speaking of lineups, for your album release party, you had one hell of a lineup.
Thank you.
You're welcome. To start off the show, you had Shot Down Twice, then Duskwalker, who I kid you not, there were like 5 or 6 different people that came up to me asking me like, why the hell haven't I heard of these guys? Where are they from? Like,
Oh, they're so tight, so good.
Oh, I know. Kale, like their drummer, is insane. Oh my god, his feet, like it's just like it's so tight. Everything.
it's
Yeah.
Like, he's
they're
insane.
truly amazing, and yeah, it's nice that they were able to finally play your album release show as
Yes.
you did for them back in November or October of 2019.
It was a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that our last show that we played?
No, we
Maybe?
played
Around there.
We played a mini tour and stuff after as well.
Ah,
But yes, after we played their CD release show, we promised we were gonna have them on our Wings of Agony CD release show, which never happened.
Yeah.
So then when we had the chance to do this CD release, we're getting Duskwalker to play again.
Yes.
Mhm. And then the band that went on before you, APOC, who happened to release an EP of the same title as your new album. I kind of want to hear your side of the story. Was it planned that way, or was it just a weird coincidence?
So here's the story. We had no idea, and they had no idea. But we were really close with their guitar player, Mark. He's like one of our best friends. And we were at a party at our other friend's house the one night, and we had our album artwork and the name and everything all set in stone. And he also had the APOC stuff. So we're like, oh man, we got our like album artwork. Let's show you. And then he's like, yeah, same. We flipped them around and show each other, and we realized we had the same album title. And we were like, no way.
Yeah.
Right? So none of us had any idea. And that night we were just like shocked. We're like, are we seeing this right? Like obviously the artwork and everything was different, but it was just kind of crazy to see like they had the same idea, but like a completely different storyline. And just like, I don't know.
And they were both getting released in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what are the chances?
Right? Great minds think alike, I suppose.
We're like, we're not changing our album name, and they're like, we're not changing our album name. So we're like, well, we're just gonna have to live with it, I guess.
Nah, it is what it is.
Exactly.
You know? And both albums tell a completely different story.
Exactly.
So it is.
Both albums turned out really great.
Agreed.
So I just wanted to make sure that both stories lined up. I just needed to make sure.
Do they line up?
Yeah, they lined up. They said the same thing. They didn't know that you had the same album title.
Neither of us had any idea. And I mean, at that point, if we knew early enough where like we didn't have everything set in stone, maybe we would have like thought differently or something, or one of us would have. But it was at the point where we found out, both of us, when it was already literally done, everything was done. And all we had to do was release it.
What are you gonna do at that point?
Exactly.
And another thing I want to talk about is the amazing album artwork that you came out with for this new album. It's truly amazing and a unique concept that I would have never even thought of for a metal album. What made you guys want to go this route with the album artwork?
Well, I wanted something that matched the meaning of High-Wraith. So, if you don't know, the like actual definition of High-Wraith is like a deep yearning for a purpose or a home, whether that place has existed or not, or will never exist, or exists out of this like plane of existence, like maybe some magical different dimension kind of thing. But I wanted to have something represent home, and then something representing that weird mystical place. So the keyhole is what represents home. And the rest is self-explanatory, but yeah, the entire album itself goes back to that title and just like searching for your purpose, searching for not really like a physical home, but just like your place in the world. And yeah.
Wow, now that you've explained it, it all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense now.
Thank you. Oh, kitty!
Yes, okay.
Oh,
Say hi, Chico.
oh, He's so cute. My guys are down here. They're snoozing. They look like little cinnamon rolls.
No, mine's a little. Every interview I've done since I've been at this place, I guarantee, featured in every single one.
Oh, she's a sweetie.
Oh yeah, the one interview we did, one of the cats bit my leg, and then I didn't hear the question properly, and I was like, it's completely distracted me.
Yeah. Like, sorry, the cat's biting me. Yeah.
You know, this
lady.
and this one she just wants her attention, of course, while I'm talking.
Oh, that's how my little guy is. Yarp. He is psycho.
I'll put you down.
God. I'm glad he's sleeping, because otherwise he would be like, meow.
Attention now, please.
Yes.
No. So we keep saying it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since the album's been released.
Mhm.
What so far has been the overall reception for this new album?
I would say pretty good.
Yeah.
Things are going pretty good. People seem to really like the album. Everyone wants physical CDs, which is amazing that people are still buying them. So seeing that is pretty cool.
And especially seeing the response not only from Canada but from like the rest of the world. Our pre-orders and everything, like I'd say 80% of them were going to Europe. So
Really?
yeah,
Germany.
Yeah, mostly Germany. So a lot of things going to Europe, and a lot of people messaging us from other countries. I'd say like our biggest fans and people who have made fan pages and stuff are all from Europe. So that's kind of funny. So it's been getting like a big response worldwide. Every day we get new reviews sent to us, people messaging us, and we've been doing interviews like crazy. And
Yeah, we're on the wrong side of the world.
I know, right? We do. Hopefully we'll make it there someday.
Exactly.
Well, you have a connection in Europe, don't you, with Ginger?
I wouldn't say like a connection. We did like connect with them like as friends kind of thing, but I wouldn't say like enough to be like, hey.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, we do, however, like, I mean, his family lives in Romania. So, I mean, we are trying to plan something where
we go to Europe and then do some shows and everything.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens and what comes out of it.
Exactly. Yep.
We don't know what 2022 has stored for us yet.
Exactly.
Right.
So I just gotta say thank you so much just for your time to do this interview. I have one last question to ask. As you know, it's going to be a fun one. It's not who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God, because we already know.
I do remember that one.
Yeah. This time around, it's a more thinking question.
Okay.
So, as you both may know, a lot of metal bands nowadays seem to be partnering up with either distilleries or breweries to come out with their own signature line of alcohol. So if Lutharo ever got to that point where they could partner up with someone to make their own beer or alcohol, what beverage would you prefer it to be, and what would you name it?
We already thought about this, and we can't say because it's too good, and I don't want to give anyone else the idea because it's like a perfect play on words for one of our songs, and yeah, we've already thought about that. We can't say though.
No, unfortunately.
But you may see it maybe somewhere down the line. You'll be like, that's clever. Yeah, we have thought about this already, and it's written as one of our song titles on the board right now.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
On words, yeah. Way.
That is awesome. Well, anyways, Krista, Victor, thank you so much for your time, taking out of your extremely high demand and busy schedules just to sit down with me and talk for these couple of minutes, however long it's been. Is there anything else you want to say to the people that are going to be watching this on YouTube?
Just thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting metal in general. And
we'll see you soon at a show.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Pretty much. See you in the pit. No, I'm kidding. Those are those people. I'm not that hardcore.
And until Until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.